morning, good afternoon, good evening, good everything. Wherever you are on the surface of the earth listening to me, welcome to the Word Cafe live show. You know, this is where we come in to lean on one another's experience to do what? Forge a positive path. I'm here again to share such exciting moment with you. It's always fun whenever I come into this space, knowing that you're there listening to me. One way I learn a lot from movies. Yeah, I watch good movies, that is. I watch good movies, I read books. But there's something I come to say about movies. Movies carry a lot of stories, salient stories. And somehow these stories influences our reasoning, our patterning subconsciously. There's this sublime messaging that we conform to. So I want to share something with you. Yeah, a movie. A good number of us have seen it, and we are looking forward to the 5th chapter. Which movie is that? John Wick. As I live and breathe. Why are you talking about John Wick on your show? Well, you will know. I wrote some things and I did a little research, and so that's what I want to share with you. The story, John Wick, the movie. So much to learn from it. Are you ready? I'm going to do some reading, then interject here and there. Movies are amazing. Entertainment. I know I wrote something about it in my first book, A Cocktail of Words. I called it Entertainment versus Containment. Entertainment versus containment is very huge, amongst us. All right, then. I'm going to read, then stop here and there to follow me. The Word Cafe podcast is where we come in to learn. We come in to lean on one another's experience to, forge a positive path. John Wick is an American action thriller film series. We all know that. For those of us who have seen the movie, excuse me, I'm reading, so I need to be comfortable with my text. It's a movie series that began with the 2014 movie, that's John Wick, like we know, directed by Chad Stahelski and starring Keanu Reeves. So he played the key role. The plot centers around John Wick himself, a retired assassin seeking vengeance after a gang stole his car and killed his beloved dog. It's all about dog. And as a gift he got from his deceased wife. So this event pulls him back into that violent underworld he had left behind. So the character John Wick is known for his relentless fighting skills, strict moral codes, particularly in the world of professional assassins, bound by unique rules and underground economy. Yes, an underground economy. The action, I'm just giving you, the framework. I'm laying it down. So we'll take it step by step like that. The film is known for its highly stylized and choreographed action sequences, focusing on a blend of gunplay, referred to as kung fu, yes, bringing a little bit of the Asian thing and all of that. Those of you who know if you know John Woo, I think this director stole something from John Woo's style, gun and fight and martial arts. Reef, that's Kenny Reef, he was performing most of the stunts by himself. And when I did one or two things, he did a lot of training to get that. So a major appeal of the story, its rich and mysterious world building, including the Continental Hotel, a safe haven for assassins. We'll get there. And the hierarchy of crime lords and assassins that abide by strict codes. So the theme, revenge, loyalty, grief, and honor. These are the center themes with John Wick's character balancing between his violent past and attempts to live a more peaceful life after the loss of his wife. So the movie has a commercial success and led to several sequels and spin-offs, establishing John Wick as a prominent action franchise. So the movie, while primarily an action thriller, subtly introduces, I beg your pardon, a unique economic system. That's where I'm going. Rooted in the criminal underworld that can be analyzed in terms of cultural nuances and market behaviors. So I'm going to give you a breakdown of the economic dimensions and the cultural underpinning in this movie. So follow me. Where's the camera? Where are you? Yes, I know your eyes are on me. So the parallel underworld economy. So the John Wick universe operates on a sophisticated underground economy that mirrors real-world market system, but with its own rules, currencies, institutions. So in the parallel economy, gold coins. John Wick always uses gold coins. So the economy of the assassin world is driven by a unique currency, gold coins, which carry immense value and actions beyond mere monetary worth. These coins are used for everything from securing services like cleaning up after assassinations to paying for sanctuary at the Continental Hotel. This demonstrates a bartering system, that relies heavily on trust, reputation, and exclusivity, where the value is symbolic and tied to the community's code of conduct. So you look at the cultural nuance. The coins reflect a medieval or aristocratic approach to currency, where value is derived not purely from market forces, but from honor, loyalty, and social standing within a closed society. This is a departure from the modern fiat currency, the fiat currency system based on state authority and more in line with the closed guilds and all secret societies. The Continental Hotel is a centralized institution. I hope you're following. All right. The Continental Hotel represents a centralized institution that plays the role of a regulatory body in the world. It provides services and a neutral ground for assassins, much like a cross between a banking institution and marketplace. The economic functions include sanctuary and trade. The Continental offers a safe place where assassins can rest, network, and conduct business without fear of violence. In return, they abide by strict rules, no killing on continental grounds, creating a balance between lawlessness and order. Cultural nuance. The Continental system of rules is reminiscent of traditional honor-based economies where deals and transactions rely heavily on reputation and loyalty rather than contracts. Like, if you go to the West, in Texas and all that, those days you conduct contracts with a handshake. That's it. The hotel acts as an intermediary, similar to how medieval marketplaces would have overseas, ensuring fairness in trades and security. Supply chain services. Yes, John Wick exposed something there. The world of John Wick has a detailed and interconnected supply chain for various services that cater to assassins and criminals. These services include weapons and equipment, high-end weapons, bulletproof suits, and medical care are part of the ecosystem, showing a sophisticated supply chain of luxury and highly specialized goods for a niche market. Cleanup services. There are specialized personnel who clean up crime scenes, dispose of bodies and restore order after violent incidents. Payment for these services is done through the gold coins, creating an exclusive economy. Cultural nuance. This system highlights a hidden market culture akin to black markets or organized crime syndicates in the real world, where specialized off-the-record services are exchanged for non-traceable currency. The emphasis on expertise and efficiency suggests a highly segmented market where quality and secrecy command premium prices. The high table. Is it getting interesting? It's getting interesting, huh? All right then. The high table, a hierarchical governance structure. So the John Wick universe is governed by elite organization known as the high table, a council of crime lords who oversee the rules and enforcement within the criminal underworld. This body resembles a corporate or political oligarchy that exerts control over the economy by setting rules, levying punishment, and maintaining a monopoly on violence. Cultural nuance. The high table operates similarly to how feudal systems or powerful cartels regulate trade and behavior in their domains. They have a top-down approach to governance, making decisions that impact the entire underworld, enforcing compliance through agents like the adjudicator. Yes, that fierce woman. This reinforces a centralized oligarch economic structure that relies on maintaining power and status within a rigid hierarchy, contracts, and debt. The high table enforces a system of blood oaths, contracts and markers that bind individuals to certain obligations, acting as debt mechanisms. Failure to honor these debts can lead to severe consequences, including death. This resembles economics where social capital and honor debts play significant roles, often found in traditional societies. Okay. The open market for contracts. So in the John Wick world, contracts for assassinations are openly traded, often with a bounty placed on an individual's head. These bounties increase with demand, showing a fluid, almost stock market-like system where price is determined by the value of the market, of the target, and the urgency of the contract. The cultural nuance. This reflects the dynamic nature of competitive markets where the value of goods, in this case human lives, fluctuates based on perceived worth and market conditions. It's akin to a mercenary or bounty hunting culture which historically existed in times of war or among lawless frontiers, where skilled individuals could profit by offering violent services, trust and reputation as currencies. So in this assassin's world, trust, loyalty, reputation hold such, high value as gold coins. John Wick's ability to navigate the underworld relies on his impeccable reputation for completing contracts and his adherence to rules of the Continental and the high table. The cultural nuance here. The concept of reputation-based economy ties back to honor-based societies or gift economies, where the reciprocal obligations and social standing dictates transactions. So in the John Wick's universe, one's ability to thrive depends heavily on personal relationships, similar to low traditional economies often operated on trust, patronage, long-standing agreements, rather than formal contracts. So exclusivity and market barriers. The John Wick universe operates with high barriers to entry. Only those deeply embedded in the criminal underworld can participate in this economy. Access to services, weapons, and even currency is restricted to members of the Assassin's Guild, or those who operate within its network. This creates an exclusive economy with its own internal checks and balances. So the cultural nuance. These mirrors real-world closed markets like the high-end luxury markets or even mafia-controlled regions where participation is restricted by, familial ties, loyalty, or wealth. It also echoes caste-like system where the mobility within the market is controlled by adherence to the established rules of the elite. So an interplay of market and cultural nuances. So John Wick series creates a unique microcosm that combines, elements of traditional and modern economies, all within the framework of a culturally rich and rule-bound underworld. The economies of this universe reflect cultural nuances from different eras and systems: feudal, honor-based, black market, and corporate governance, woven into an intricate market of violence, trust, loyalty, and exclusivity. The balance of power between the individuals and institutions and the currency of reputation and skill further enhances the movie's exploration of how markets and societies interact in covert, high-stakes environments. Yes, several reward. Yes, we have. Let's see if these things I'm talking about applies today are reflected in the John Wick universe. Styled, exaggerated for cinematic purposes. Yeah, here are some parallels to actual. Yeah, now I'm going to draw some parallel. The feudal Japan and samurai code called Bushido. So parallel. The honor-based system in John Wick, particularly the use of markers and strict codes of conduct, mirrors the samurai culture of feudal Japan. The samurai adheres to Bushido, a code of honor, loyalty, duty that bound warriors to their lords. Marker system, the blood oath, and markers in John Wick reflect feudal loyalty bonds where failure to repay a debt or fulfill a duty could lead to shame or death. The Continental Hotel. The hotel's rule of no violence on its premises can be compared to the notion of temple sanctuaries in ancient Japan, where violence was forbidden. This will interest you. The Italian Mafia and Code of Omerta. So the parallel, the structure of the criminal underworld in John Wick, especially the high table, resembles the Italian Mafia. The Mafia operates with a hierarchy, families, and bosses, similar to the crime lords under the high table, the Code of Omerta. The assassin's strict adherence to rules, including the prohibition of revealing secrets and internal betrayals, is similar to the Mafia's code of silence. Omerta, where secrecy and loyalty are paramount. Markers as a debt. In Mafia culture, debts, especially favors, are binding with serious consequences for failure to honor them, much like the markers in the John Wick world. Medieval European guides and merchant culture. So parallel. The John Wick economy, particularly its use of gold coins, can be likened to medieval guides or merchant economies in Europe, where the trade was tightly controlled by exclusive group that valued skill and reputation over monetary wealth. Gold coins. The gold coins used in John Wick are reminiscent of medieval coinage, the coinage system, where a coin's value was linked to not just its material worth, but also to its acceptance within a particular group or society. Craftsmanship and expertise. The highly specialized services, weapon makers, tailors, cleaners, resemble the medieval guides, where expert artisans controlled the supply of luxury goods and services within an exclusive community. Modern black market and cartels. The parallel. The assassin's world economy operates such like a black market or organized crime syndicate, where secrecy and loyalty are critical and illegal services are provided in exchange for valuable commodities. Gold coins. Market for violence. The open contract for assassination are similar to mercenary economies or modern cartels, where services such as hits are openly traded among those in the know. Hidden marketplaces. The underground nature of the assassin economy parallels the dark web or other illegal market spaces where goods and services are available only to those with access. Caste systems and social hierarchy. We'll find that in India, So the parallel, the rigid hierarchy of the John Wick world, where members of the high table hold immense power and rank, dictates access, to resources, mirror caste system like in India, where one's birth or social position determines opportunities and social mobility. The high table's control. The high table acts like the upper echelon of a caste society, where only a select few at the top control the rules of engagement and others are bound to follow them. Medieval European oaths and bonds. The parallel. The John Wick system of markers, contracts, and debts closely resembles medieval European oaths, especially among knights and lords. These oaths were binding and often sealed with blood or other symbolic acts, just like the markers in the John Wick world. Oaths of fealty. These oaths are form of fealty where vassals pledge loyalty to their lords in return for protection or favor. Failing to uphold an oath was a severe dishonor, often leading to death, similar to what John Wick faces when he breaks the rules of the high table. Am I boring you? I'm giving you too much information, am I? All right, we're almost there. So nomadic and tribal economies, Middle East and Africa. So you see, we're trying to bring all of this out. The parallel, the loyalty and personal bonds between characters in John Wick can also be seen in nomadic and tribal societies, particularly in parts of the Middle East and Africa, where oral contracts and personal loyalty are critical. Blood oaths. These societies often operate with blood pacts or other forms of binding agreements that are enforced through personal honor rather than legal systems, much like the markers in John Wick. Corporate governance and oligarchic systems. We have to bring it in. So the parallel here, the high table with its council of crime lords who control the entire underworld mirrors corporate oligarchs or cartels, where a few powerful individuals or groups dictate the rules of engagement and control the flow of resources. Centralized control, like in real-world oligarchs. The high table ensures compliance through strict enforcement and loyalty, ensuring that the wealth and power remain centered at the top. I'm beginning to land the plane now. Real-time cultural reflections. The John Wick series is a melting pot of various real-world cultural and economic systems, blending ancient and modern practices. The samurai code, Bushido, and Italian mafia's Omata shape the honor-driven, loyalty-bound aspects. Medieval guides and caste-like systems highlight the exclusivity and hierarchy within the underworld. Black market economies and tribal oaths reflect the clandestine and personal nature of trade and agreements. So finally, the corporate oligarchic structure of the high table shows how power, control are centralized in this world. The cultural reflections create a rich, believable universe where ancient traditions, underground economies, and modern crime networks converge. So you see, a lot more. We watch movies, and sometimes we think we're just watching movies to entertain us and laugh, but actually revealing a lot of things around us. Why am I bringing this to you? So I'll tell you why I'm bringing this to you. So recently, the oil business around the world has been having this, up and down, like a seesaw movement. And from where I stand, I'm a Nigerian, and we are part of the OPEC, the oil producing countries. Russia is not, America is not, but they are part of the market also. But do you know what is happening? Nigeria just produced one refinery. Mexico also produced another refinery, and these two refineries are creating this, upsetting the market. OPEC released a report the other day how Dangote refinery and the other one in Mexico will really change the face of the business. So you see, we're part of the system. We're part of the economic system, but it's for us to understand how it works and take our place. So that's what I came to do today. I hope I've not given you too much information, as it were, but I've only pointed you to what you see every day is just before you. All right then, guys, I wish I could spend some more time, but I think I need to run now, and I will come back again. Do you like our new space? I know you do. We're growing, we're forming, we're expanding, we're dreaming, and we're stepping into the future gradually. And I'm so happy that you're there. It gives me so much joy whenever I come into this space. Knowing that you're there listening to me gives me so much joy. So much is coming your way. Yes, so stick around. We're going to have amazing conversations, and we're going to have a lot of people come on the show to come share, one or two things. I don't do this all the time, but my producers always tell me to do it. So I let me do it now to make my producers happy. Yeah. Do you follow us on all the various social media outlets? Instagram, YouTube, where again? We're there. Twitter, we're there. This is me asking you to follow us. X. It's no longer Twitter now, we call it X. This is me asking you to follow us. Why are you following us? You should know why you're following us. Because there's a lot of value we have to give to you. Yes, go ahead. Click on that button. Notify me and all of that. There's so much coming from the Word Cafe podcast going forward. All right then, guys, till I come your way again. You know how we do it on the show. It's always exciting. My name is Amachree Isoboye. Bye for now.